My life story is really like anybody who's come to Christ, just filled with God's grace. Like what Max Lucado said about God's grace, it's like waves in the ocean. Just blast you, you fall down, you get back up, and His grace hits you again, and you just get saturated in God's grace over and over again. It's unending, and that's my life. It's experiencing God's grace, His mercy, His forgiveness, and also a story about parents raising a child in a good Christian home, because I was raised in a wonderful home. I was in church all the time, and like so many young people do, unfortunately, we're raised right, but then as we get older, we test the ways of the world, and I did that, and did many things that I'm not very proud of, but a lot has happened in my life, so I'm very thankful for. And my parents raising me like they did, I'm so thankful for that, because just like the Word of God says, raise a child in the way he should go. When he's older, he will not depart. And that's what's happened in my life. So any parents who have wayward children out there, keep praying for them, because you've planted the seed in their hearts. They'll come back to Christ. Just keep praying for them. And when I was 12 years old, I was baptized. But I remember nothing really changing in me. It wasn't that I was a horrible kid, though some teachers may disagree. But I was your average kid, just enjoyed playing sports. But the older I got, the more I experimented. And when I moved off to college, I went the way that unfortunately a lot of young people do, got into the party scene, and that just kept going and going and going. But even when I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, I remember asking God to forgive me, because I just knew I'd been taught differently, and I knew what I was doing was wrong. But I kept doing it, and really separated myself from my family, and moved off down into Central Florida. But I remember coming home late one night after partying, and definitely not in my right mind that night because of what we were doing at the party. But I remember hearing a voice saying, "Come home." And the first thing I thought was I'm tripping. That couldn't have been what I thought. But then I heard that voice again, said, "Come home." And immediately I got sober. And that was the voice of God. And so I moved back home to where my parents went back into college, because I had quit college actually, and enrolled back into college. But God wasn't saying necessarily to come home to my parents' house. It was to come home to Him. And so once I surrendered my life to Him, gave my life completely to Him, things started changing, and I really experienced His love, His grace in my life, and I understood that it was more than saying a prayer, "Jesus, come into my heart." It's surrendering. And once I did that, I started really experiencing those waves of grace in my life, and Jesus saved me. He filled me with the Spirit, and from that time back in 1989 until now, different things have happened in my life like everybody else. But God's grace has always been there, and He's always sustained me at everything that's happened. And now I look and I see the blessings of God. I have an awesome, beautiful wife. We're not only best friends, we're ministry partners. And to see God working through us, through our family, through friends, through volunteers who come to Love in Action, to touch lives of people with no hope, who just have not really experienced much love in their lives. They're now experiencing Jesus, and they're experiencing the love of Jesus, and lives are being changed. And it's just an awesome, awesome experience. And I just can't thank God enough for saving my soul and giving me that blessed assurance of everlasting life with Him.